Hello friends, today we begin a summary of the plot of the 128th episode. But before we begin, please support the channel by clicking the like button. It helps. Wong Lin takes the crystal from the ancient giant, expresses his gratitude, and immediately turns toward the Tide Abyss to continue his journey. Meanwhile, in a desolate area deep within the Tide Abyss, surrounded by black mist, a tree man sits cross-legged facing a massive swarm of monsters. These pitch-black creatures with glowing red eyes and sharp fangs have completely blocked the exit, sealing off any possible path for escape. If Wong Lin were present, he would recognize these beasts as the mosquito beasts he once knew, though they lack their usual purple-gold color. The physical body and soul of Master Tianhou have already been devoured by these monsters, causing deep sorrow to the disciples of the Great Luo Sword sect. Out of the 12 disciples, only those guarding the outside and the late Mo Yang are absent, while the other 9 followed Tan Lang into this land. Tan Lang claimed that the greatest treasure of the spirit land was hidden here, a lie that successfully lured almost all the disciples into his trap. The Tide Land is filled with deadly dangers, but it also contains countless rare treasures that the disciples hope to obtain for their own cultivation. Qianlong felt deep doubts about this mission, but he could not find a way to refute the tempting proposal offered by the ambitious Tan Lang. He arranged for the disciples to move in groups and left 2 people outside to act as sentries and maintain a connection to the world. However, after entering the Tide Land, the situation took a turn for the worse when Tan Lang recovered an ancient relic and triggered a beast attack. The group has been trapped for 100 years, and during this time, Tianhou sacrificed his life in a desperate attempt to break through the siege. Even the powerful sword energy of their great master was not enough to change the situation, and the disciples remained stuck in a hopeless deadlock. Qianlong realized that even their combined strength could not free them, so he decided to confront Tan Lang and demand to see the object from the cave. Tan Lang took an oval egg shrouded in the energy of death from his storage bag, claiming it was essential for their secret cultivation path. He appeared respectful to Qianlong on the surface, but his eyes revealed a hidden agenda that suggested he had much darker motives for their presence. At the same time, Wang Lin is traveling at extreme speed toward the exit of the Fire Demon County, searching for the mysterious command token. He learned about the hidden treasures from Yao Shui and suspected that the disappearance of Tan Lang was directly related to this Tide Land. Wang Lin placed invisible tracking seals at the exit to monitor anyone leaving the area, ensuring that no one could escape his observation unnoticed. Then he turned toward the entrance of the Water Demon County, planning to find Zhou Yi to repay an old debt of kindness and gratitude. Wang Lin recalls his experience in the inheritance space where he merged with a gray figure and gained a deep understanding of the slaughter art. This experience allowed him to form a strange slaughter seal, but it began to drain the vital energy from his own physical body and soul. This made Wang Lin very cautious, as he began to doubt the true motives of Tian Yunzi for teaching him such a dangerous and self-destructive technique. He decided to hide his suspicions for now and began to secretly study a way to break the seal before it could do permanent damage. Several days later, Wang Lin arrived at the Sea of Clouds in the west, where a deep crack in the ground serves as a hidden passage. For cultivators stood near the entrance of the abyss, including a young woman with a mature gaze that seemed far beyond her actual physical age. She wore white clothes that did not fit tightly, yet she still displayed a graceful figure and a unique temperament that commanded immediate respect. The second woman appeared much more ordinary in her pink dress, with a pale face and a fragile body that seemed like it could blow away. Their companion was a handsome young man in red named Du Jian, who carried the natural arrogance of a chosen genius from a powerful sect. He introduced the group to the Sea of Clouds and claimed that he had discovered a rift that led directly into the legendary Tide Abyss. A man in black named Murong Zhou remained cold and silent, only giving a brief nod to confirm the words spoken by the confident Du Jian. At that moment, a streak of light flashed across the sky as a young man in white arrived with an extraordinary aura and a cold, piercing gaze. This was Wang Lin, and his appearance shocked Du Jian because his cultivation had already reached the early stage of the Wending realm. Du Jian immediately went forward to greet him and introduced the others, including a disciple of the Mo sect and 2 women from the Floating Cloud sect. Wang Lin responded calmly, but paid close attention to Zhou, sensing that the man possessed great power and very unusual magical abilities. Du Jian felt a surge of jealousy at Wang Lin's rapid progress, but he maintained a friendly face and proposed that they explore the abyss together. Wang Lin considered the offer and agreed to join them, mainly because the presence of Zhou made the prospect of a group expedition more interesting. The 5 cultivators began their descent into the Sea of Clouds, each of them hiding their true thoughts while carefully watching the actions of the others. Zhao E Xian tried to observe Wang Lin secretly, but she found that he had locked his mind with a powerful will that she could not penetrate. Wang Lin noticed her prying and gave a casual glance back, which felt like a sharp sword piercing her soul and left her feeling deeply shaken. She quickly hid her emotions, while Wang Lin continued to study his companions and concluded that the most dangerous one was actually the frail Su Fei. The group soon reached a deep rift in the ground that was 10 feet wide and stretched for thousands of feet like a giant mouth in the earth. They began to fly down into the darkness, and Wang Lin noticed that the walls of the rift were as smooth as if they had been cut by a blade. He felt a cold energy seeping into his body when he touched the walls, but he used his immortal power to see clearly through the deep gloom. Many branching cracks began to appear in the walls like the branches of a tree, some of which were so dark that even magic could not see through. Du Jian suggested exploring these cracks to search for treasures, and soon the members of the group began to fly into different openings one by one. Wang Lin watched them leave and felt a sense of doubt, wondering why his companions seemed so strange and what their true intentions might be. He continued to sink deeper into the abyss, realizing that he had not yet reached the bottom of this seemingly endless and terrifying hole in the ground. Wang Lin understood that the tide abyss consisted of 5 entrances but only 1 exit, making the journey down a dangerous path with no easy return. He tried to fly upward but felt a massive pressure blocking his way, confirming that the entrance was designed to allow entry but strictly forbid any exit. After sinking another 100 feet, Wang Lin found a strange ancient tree growing on the wall, its roots covering a hidden crack in the stone. A faint purple light flickered inside the crack, appearing to be an ancient flying sword that emitted a very sharp and dangerous aura of power. Du Jian stopped and cried out in surprise, claiming it was the lost sword of a disciple from the Tianyun sect named Sun Yun. He asked the others to let Wang Lin have the sword as a gesture of returning it to its rightful owner, acting with a false sense of honesty. Wang Lin was suspicious of his motives, so he used a curved blade to pull the sword toward him instead of reaching out with his own hand. As soon as he touched it, the sword crumbled into pieces and the light vanished, revealing it was only a clever trap made of common iron. Wang Lin looked coldly at Du Jian, who turned pale and quickly apologized by claiming he had simply made a mistake in identifying the weapon. With a cold gaze, Wang Lin struck out with a gust of wind that forced Du Jian back toward the ancient tree where the trap had been set. Suddenly, the tree collapsed and transformed into a massive cloud of insects that surged forward like a thick and dark fog of death. The tree was not a real plant, but a clever disguise made of millions of color-changing insects that blended perfectly with the stone walls of the abyss. The swarm divided into 5 groups and attacked the cultivators, causing Du Jian to scream in terror as he scrambled to activate his protective jade. A 7-colored light covered his body, but the insects were attracted to the glow and began to bite at the shield with a horrifying crunching sound. Du Jian called out to Zhou for help, but the black handprints of his magic passed through the insects without causing them any actual harm. As the protective light began to fade, Du Jian tried to trade a secret for his life, but Wang Lin ignored him and focused on the behavior of the swarm. He noticed that the insects were sensitive to bright light, so he used a golden talisman to create a brilliant flash that drew the swarm away. While the insects were distracted, Du Jian tried to use his own blood to launch a desperate attack, but Wang Lin easily countered his move. He used his power to seal the soul of the traitor and placed him into his storage bag, finishing the battle with a clean and decisive strike. The others watched in shock as Wang Lin continued to control the golden talisman, proving that the insects were not invincible but merely resistant to certain magic. Wang Lin and Zhou decided to work together as they moved deeper into the tide abyss, while the two women also offered their assistance. Wang Lin secretly warned Zhou to stay alert, as he suspected that the women were actually members of the Xian sect hiding their true identities. They eventually reached the lower middle part of the abyss where the light from the giant's crystal could no longer show the path clearly. Wang Lin felt a surge of emotion but suppressed it, knowing that his goal of finding the physical body of Zhou Yi was finally very close. He told Zhou that he had other business to attend to and would not continue with the group, offering his help if they ever met again. Su Fei tried to leave a trace of her soul on him to track his movement, but Wang Lin discovered it immediately and destroyed the silver thread of magic. This confirmed his suspicion that Su Fei was the dominant soul, while Zhao Xian was merely a corpse puppet under her direct and total control. Wang Lin spent a long time searching the cracks in the wall with thousands of souls, but he could not find any trace of Zhou Yi's presence. He realized that the seal was hidden by the overbearing sword will of Lin Tianhou and began to strike the walls with his own sword energy. Finally, he discovered a tiny crack that emitted a powerful aura, but he was knocked back by a surge of divine sense that caused him internal injuries. Wang Lin was now certain that Zhou Yi was sealed deep inside that crack, protected by the residual power left behind by the Great Sword Master. Despite the danger, he activated his slaughter energy and life seals, put on his demon armor, and prepared himself for a final and desperate breakthrough. Wang Lin remembered the kindness of Zhou Yi, who had once given him a precious gift in exchange for the promise to protect a loved one. This memory gave him the strength to face the millions of sword spirits that guarded the seal, even as they tore through his magical defenses. The entire tide abyss shook from the collision of their powers, causing rocks to fall and sending waves of energy through the deep and dark tunnels. Deep in the abyss, a broken giant sword began to vibrate from the shock, while the traitor Tan Lang watched the horizon with growing concern. The Great Master Lin Tianhou opened his eyes in his distant hall, sensing that someone was trying to break the seal he had placed on the sword spirit. He believed that as long as the spirit wished for death, it could never be free, and he closed his eyes to return to his deep meditation. Wang Lin finally broke through the final layer of the seal and saw Zhou Yi, whose body was covered in purple mist and whose soul was fading. A formation called the Immortal Refining Array was slowly consuming his mind, turning him into a tool for the demons and the Sword Master. Wang Lin called out to him, but Zhou Yi responded with cold indifference, telling Wang Lin to leave because his heart had already died long ago. With a bitter smile, Wang Lin returned the tower containing his soul and said that his promise was fulfilled and he no longer owed any debt. When he mentioned the name of the woman he loved, Zhou Yi trembled and his empty eyes filled with a deep and ancient sorrow for his lost Tinger. Wang Lin revealed that her true name was Qing Xuan and handed over a jade slip containing the truth about her origin and her father. The hope of reuniting with her father gave Zhou Yi a reason to live, and his power exploded outward, shattering the purple mist and the immortal array. The energy from the broken seal flowed into Wang Lin, healing his injuries and strengthening his soul to a level he had never achieved before. In gratitude, Zhou Yi helped the spirit of Wang Lin's servant to understand the ancient sword intent, turning him into a truly powerful sword spirit. He warned Wang Lin to be careful because the spirit was naturally rebellious, so he placed a hidden seal to ensure its loyalty in the future. Zhou Yi then gave Wang Lin's sword a unique power that allowed it to exist independently of any other master, a gift that only a celestial lord could grant. He told Wang Lin that there was one final gift waiting at the bottom of the abyss, where the aura of the previous sword spirit still remained. They reached a giant corridor with a black pit in the center that acted as the source of the tide, sucking in everything with a terrifying force. A female figure appeared from a mysterious scroll in Wang Lin's bag, whispering for him to go down into the dark and dangerous depths of the pit. Zhou Yi warned him that the pit could confuse the mind, so Wang Lin focused on his path and followed the sword spirit deeper into the long corridor. Suddenly, a thick purple fog erupted from the pit, blocking their vision and increasing the suction force to a level that began to pull at the walls. Wang Lin saw a familiar gold sword falling into the abyss and used his magic to pull it back, discovering the name of a great master carved on the blade. He followed Zhou Yi toward the exit of the Fire Demon County, feeling that his journey was a success even though the command token remained a mystery. Meanwhile, a pair of powerful cultivators on a celestial cloud observed the entrance, admiring the clever traps that Wang Lin had left behind to guard the area. The man believed the creator must be an old master of 10,000 years, but the woman disagreed and made a bet about his actual age. They decided to wait for the creator to appear while also tracking the movement of Tan Lang, whose every action was already under their secret observation. Inside the mist, Wang Lin encountered Tan Lang, who had spent a century learning to control the massive swarms of monsters using magical needles. Tan Lang planned to use the disciples of the Sword Sect as a sacrifice to obtain the token, but he did not realize that a greater power was approaching. Wang Lin realized that the disciples were being held against their will and prepared himself to face the cunning and dangerous master of the monsters. Zhou Yi watched Wang Lin with a look of shock, realizing that this young man possessed a sharp mind and a level of wisdom far beyond his years. Thank you all for watching and for your support. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again next week.